Today, we're going to be reacting to how I made how in Geometry Dash. Now, if you guys don't remember, this is by Spu7nix. He made the 3D level. I don't remember which one this is. I think, I'm going to take a wild guess though. I think this is the one that has like the little, the little cylinder, I think it's called. Like the triangle, but 3D version. You know what I'm talking about? And it goes like this, but you're like looking at, but the camera angle's like from back here, so it's going like this. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Could be wrong though. I was told to watch this. Oh. If you haven't seen it yet, you might want to go watch or play the level before watching this video.
Okay, so I recently made this quite confusing level in Geometry Dash, and many people, including Rocktop himself, seem to be wondering how it's made. As opposed to in my last explanation video, this level is built using a lot of different techniques instead of just one. Therefore, I won't be going over every single.
This one came out second then?
As that would take a long time. I'll only be going over the ones that are the most prevalent, interesting, and original. The first effects I'm going to explain are the ones used in the two cylinders. The first one being the one in the first two parts, and the second one being the one in the third part. Have you ever spun around a spiral-like object, like a spring or this weird ice cream, and noticed that it kinda looks like it's going up or down? Well, it's not going up and down, it's just an illusion. But this illusion also works backwards. If you move the spiral object up and down, it kinda looks like it's spinning.
Yeah.
This alone is not that convincing though. I mean, it's pretty easy to see what's going on here. However, if you flip the object upside down and make it go down instead of up, it still looks like it's spinning the same way, but with the lines going the opposite way. And when you put the two on top of each other, we get a pretty convincing effect. Both of the cylinders use this principle, but in different ways. I'll cover the second one first, since it's a bit simpler than the first one.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to
okay, is this guy like a NASA engineer or like a brain surgeon, rocket scientist? Like, does this guy what's his credentials? Is this the like Matthew Boland of GD?
One of the lines from earlier.
He knows code pretty well.
This is actually part of the sine wave. If you know some trigonometry, you know why. Okay, so we're going to take this line and copy it up, and for each copy, we're going to increase its C layer by 2. When we got the height we want, we're going to do it all again, but with the C layer set off by 1, using odd numbers instead of even, for example. If we flip this second piece and give it a different color, we can see that they kind of weave together like threads and make a flat edge in the middle. No matter where we move one of these pieces, the flat edge will stay where it is. Now copy each piece up, turn them 180 degrees, and give all the resulting pieces different colors. I made mine look like diamonds. Now copy this thing on top of itself, and you got a working cylinder. I also added some extra shading effects by adding some low opacity blocks between the layers. Okay, now for the first one. Before I explain this, you're gonna have to know 2 facts. First fact, your screen is made of thousands of pixels, and each pixel is made of thousands of 3 subpixels. Red, green, and blue.
See, look, I knew subpixel.
These subpixels each have a minimum value and a maximum value, typically 0 to 255.
Yeah, I did know that.
Cannot go beyond. Since each subpixel is so small, they all mix together, creating all the different colors shown on the screen.
Yep.
Now for the second fact. In Geometry Dash, there is an option to make color blending. What blending does is that when an object with blending color is drawn on the screen, instead of each pixel on the object replacing the previous pixel, its color gets added to the previous color, aka each red, green, and blue value of the 2 pixels get added with each other. Okay, finally I'll explain the actual effect. Let's take an object and give it a color of 100% red, aka 25500, and we'll give it blending. Now, let's copy it around on top of itself. Notice how the whole structure stays the same color, even though they should be added together.
Should they?
Because
they're 255. Yes. Oh my gosh.
If you add more to it, nothing will happen.
Yeah.
If you do the same
Wait, am I a super genius or no?
thing with the blue color, we can see that they don't react with each other either, but they do react with the red ones, creating purple.
Yep.
This means we can create complicated overlapping structures with these colors and still have them look like a flat color, but change when they overlap with another color. One such structure is none other than the sine wave from earlier. We can make many different patterns with this effect. I chose this kind of V pattern. Now make 2 spirals and have them move up and down, and we got a cylinder working. The final effect that is used in the cylinders is the scaling, and this one is pretty simple. If we take a spiral from before and move each line proportionally to each other, we get this kind of expanding effect. To make it stretch, simply move each part differently from each other. This is easy to implement in the first cylinder since each segment can overlap with itself. It's also possible in the second cylinder because of the
I'm getting lost a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting lost.
Parts kind of go under each other. Oh, and I almost forgot this transition effect. If we take the 2 spiral patterns and move them against each other on the x-axis, they still work as cylinders, just curved down. If we couple this with the scaling, it looks like the whole thing is rotating and moving towards you. I made the caps on top and the bottom using a frame-by-frame method, built using a script for extra accuracy.
Oh, okay. You use a script by this. I was gonna say that
Okay, now that we've been over the cylinders, I want to talk about the wave itself. This effect is actually not that complicated as it may seem. First off, the trail. This basically uses a lot of 2 pretty unknown triggers, the follow trigger and the follow player Y trigger. You might know this pretty common effect where you can make a custom trail using a bunch of follow player Y triggers with increasing delay on a bunch of objects.
Okay.
I basically did this, and instead of spacing them out regularly, I made them closer together the further towards the edge of the cylinder they got, so it looks like they're going around it. Finally, I made this shaded circle shape and used the follow trigger to make one of them follow every segment in the trail. I made sure to layer them behind each other, and the ones behind the cylinder I layered even lower. One problem with this is that the layering does not really match the blocks, so it kind of glitches out sometimes, but I think it looks cool enough that it's worth it.
Okay, but
the wave itself is actually just frame by frame. I started out by making a model in Blender, and then I rendered it in 5 different angles, imported them as backgrounds in the GD editor, and traced them by hand. Nothing special. Okay, now I'll get...
Okay, but how does he make it 3D though? Like, how did he make the trail, like, you see how, like it starts, like, let's say here? Or how do I show this? Okay, let's say, like, your wave's here, right? It's, like, going back here. It's, like, going like this. It's going, like, how does he make it do that? He's explaining it. I am paying attention. Move triggers, yes, but how is he making it 3D, though? Like, how does he make the wave? Okay, well, if it's move triggers and it's just following the wave. Oh, maybe he's not done.
The effects are mostly based on scripting. But first, I want to explain a little more clearly what scripting, or using a bot, means. When you close your GD editor, the game saves your progress onto a file on your disk called cclocallevels.dat.
Okay, makes sense.
This file stores every single object in all the levels you have ever made. In one sense, the GD editor itself is just a tool to edit this file. When I script things for my levels, what I'm basically doing is making a program on my computer that writes to this file. This makes some things easier, typically repetitive, mindless tasks. And it also helps getting positions, rotations, and colors very accurate. However, doing basically anything else using code is way harder than just using the Geometry Dash editor.
Do most people use this or no? If you want to look at the source code for all the scripts, use it. Yeah.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, I'll explain the gameplay blocks.
Okay.
First, I made this simple 3D cube effect based on the one Galvatron made a few years ago. After designing it in the editor, I made a script to make it automatically with any color, layer, and movement I wanted. Then, to make a very long story short, I made the script copy this cube effect around to fill the gameplay. To get the layering correct.
Oh, wait. So it's not actually 3D, it's an illusion, right? So, hold on. I want to understand how it's done, though. Is it just the color is just shifting? Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening? Is it just the color is shifting? Like, let's say it's like right here, it's like gray. Is the color just shifting to like a lighter gray, and it looks like it's looks like it's turning, but it's not. It's moving, and the colors are changing.
I had to make 4 copies of each cube effect, so one between each cardinal direction. The copies in this block would have their C layer iterate up, and these would iterate down.
Where did you buy your SEO device?
Now I'll get on to
Amazon.
How I made
it's a dumb question.
This was, quite obviously, made using code. The first part of this uses the same technique as I used in Solus, but instead of just using circles, I added various sizes of rectangles as well. Basically,
wait,
the program
what?
circled the first sequence up and these direction. The copies in this block would have their C layer iterate up, and these would iterate
Yo, Juan,
down.
thank you.
Okay, now we'll get on to how I made the end sequence. This was, quite obviously, made using code. The first part of this uses the same technique as I used in Solus, but instead of just using circles, I added various sizes of rectangles as well. Basically, the program takes the frame of the image and tries to recreate it by layering different objects. I say tries.
Oh, in Geometry Dash.
Exactly what it does. It basically places random objects until they fit, and then tweaks them to fit better.
Okay, that makes sense.
I used Sam Twidale's amazing Geometrize tool for this, with some modifications to get shapes I could recreate in Geometry Dash. For the video frames themselves, I used Blender to 3D animate them. You can download the raw Blender files from the GitHub in the description, by the way. Blender has this interesting feature called Freestyle that takes the 3D model and draws it with lines. I found out there was a way to export this as an SVG, which makes me able to read exactly where the lines are. I made the script to read the file and place the lines in GD. Not that much to it. Now, as is tradition at this point, I'm going to review the final product in the editor. So let's open this.
No, I think I get it.
This is this is only for the gameplay blocks.
No, this would took them so long.
These triggers, these are all just generated by the script for these gameplay blocks.
Okay, so you didn't have to do that.
There are so many is because I couldn't use any spawn loops because they use too many groups. So if we delete this, we can see a bit more clearly what's going on.
Why did you just do that?
These things are all the.
If I did that, I would just shoot myself.
In
GTA, of course.
Made them in the same way as I made the other videos at the end. So as you can see, these are all quite high quality. I think they're the highest quality frames of all the movies in this. It's because there's so few frames, I could make them a bit high quality. These are like, say, 700 objects per frame or so.
700 objects per one of these frames?
0.1 second.
So that's why you lag so much when you play this.
Alright, so let's look at the cylinders maybe. So, as you can see, I separated the two spiral parts of this first cylinder in an attempt to make it easier for me to use start position. Spoilers, I couldn't use start position because there are too many objects. So I had to play the whole level over again if I wanted to test the thing at the end.
No way.
Okay, I had to be a bit creative with how I
that
moved
sucks.
them and stuff while they looped. So these are all the triggers for scaling and looping them, making sure that you can't see like the edge of the cylinder at any time. You probably can at some points, but no one's going to notice.
What?
Oh, and we should probably look at the wave also.
Is this not the weirdest editor timeline you've ever seen?
There's this weird editor bug where this goes up and down. I have no idea why. This is not how it's supposed to be, but anyways. There's a thing up here. This was how the wave was supposed to look in the start. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of glad I went with this one. So here at the end is the end sequence. Each frame looks like this, just like in Solus. It's the same procedure because it was so lag efficient. I might as well use it again, right?
What
if we
the?
just delete the toggle triggers, we can see all the frames at once, which is always fun. Yeah, so here you can see them. The line objects.
How do you even how do you one day wake up and you're like, yeah,
different lines,
I feel like doing this.
Mainly the two.
I feel like
these two sizes.
I feel like figuring out how to do this.
You can find the source of the 3D files in the description, in the GitHub if you want to play around with them for some reason. What is this? What?
These are all objects. Think about that. How did he do this? I'm like really trying to wrap my head around why you would ever want to do this. Yo, cringe dad of Keelan, no, not Keelan. Kellen, sorry, I got it. Yo, what's up, cringe dad? How's it going, bro? I'm trying to really like grasp my head around. Yo, cringe dad with the prom. Sup, bro? Thanks for being a good sport. Have a good stream. Yo, thanks for the prime, gang. I appreciate you. Kellen, I got it. I've just been saying it wrong for so long that now my brain has to readjust. I'll get it. It's like, okay, have you guys seen the video of that one dude who programmed a robot to give him a haircut? Have you seen that guy? Do you know who that is? That YouTuber? Like, how do you no, not Michael Reeves. What? You guys have never seen this video? Hold on. A robot cut my hair. I made a robot cut my hair. Hold on. Yes, look, it's this. You guys have never seen this? I like this dude. I've watched a lot of his videos on TikTok.
Great.
Because they like upload his videos as a. But like, how do you one day wake up and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna figure out how to do this with no like back end research. Like, there's no like, you have to figure this out yourself. It's like insane to me. I don't know. It's insane to me. Yo, Spu7nix, I would love to hop in a call with you. I feel like just talking to you would honestly just make me a smarter human. From this video, I've gathered that this guy is like the Matthew Boland of Geometry Dash. That was insane. That was insane. All right.